guys? It's just old Uncle Larry checking in on a Thursday, I believe. Thursday, getting into March. Hope everybody's doing great out there. Let's see. Wow, so much to talk about. Wow. I got the old Duesenberg little Uncle Larry's signature model out. Man, this thing is amazing. You know, I'll tell you, whatever they're doing with these humbuggers in the bridge is quite nice. I'm just saying. I've always thought these pickups were very underrated. As a matter of fact, I have a question in the VCB that relates to that later. And we're going to get into some VCB. Let's see. That was an old Cars song. You guys remember that one? Good Times Roll? We were driving to school this morning. I took my kids to school. And my 7-year-old Leo always requests that one. He loves that song. So do I. First song on the first Cars album. You know, there's a guy that watches the show, a guy named Darren, who comments on every video. He's in a Cars tribute band. I think they're in Boston somewhere. How's it going, Darren? You guys probably play that better than I do. It's hard to do that harmonic bit. It's really hard, where you bounce the... It's really hard to do. Check it out. I put my finger right on the bar of the fret, you know. It's really hard. Practice that. It's pretty hard to do. I still can't do it. I don't think Rick Ocasek played both of those parts at the same time, by the way. I'm just saying. That sounds like two guitar parts to me. Let's see here. Okay, so thanks for all the sweet comments about the recent videos. You know, the double neck video I put up, and then what else have I put up here lately? Let me look back in the old catalog and see. Oh, The Unseen World. Yeah, I think a lot of people out there related to, a lot of dads out there related to the Cub Scout story in that one. Yeah, you know, it's just never ending what you'll do for your kids, you know, including getting crawled all over by cockroaches. And thanks a lot for the kind comments on the Ipswich Blues. You know where I got all those names from, right? Ipswich, Foxhall, Suffolk. Those are always written on the back of the old Celestian speakers. It always has great names like, you know, Ditton on the Thames. All these places that in my mind I want to go, you know. Surrey, Foxhall. It's great. It's so English. I love it. Hello to all you English people out there. A lot of English folks out there watching the Homeskoolin show. A lot of people from all over the world, actually. It's amazing how YouTube can connect us all, you know, from the sunny downtown Nashville all the way to these crazy countries. And it's just great. Here's some things from the VCB. And a lot of new viewers coming over. We're almost up to 80,000 subscribers, if you can imagine. Got my Lane Motor Museum cup. It's very, very calming to old Larry. 80,000 subscribers. My God. What if I make it to 100? That'd be amazing. Then I could retire. Okay, so there's this guy that always comments on the show. He's a bit of a numbskull, but I love him. He used to be called Failed Rock Star, but now he's called String Locker. And I love the guy. We always tease each other back and forth. He's pretty witty. But he's asked a couple questions. And these are thought-provoking questions. He said, what inspires you more, a guitar or an amp? Man, I never thought of that. That's a damn good question. I suppose if I was playing a clean sound or a cleanish sound, the guitar for sure. But if we're starting to get into some raunch, definitely the amp, right? So I guess that sort of depends, Mr. Stringlocker. But that's a good question. He also said a long time ago, he probably thinks I forgot about this, but I didn't, and I've been thinking about it. Could you have made a living like you did playing music if you had never developed that hybrid picking style, and if you only play with a straight pick? That's what he asked. Have we talked about this? Did I already mention this in a different episode? If so, I'm sorry, I might be losing it, but I don't think I did. But I don't think I could have, because that whole thing with the hybrid picking and all the stuff that I do with my fingers and the pick is such a part of my whole style. I think it's the only reason that anybody ever liked my playing, if in fact they did, which I don't think they did. But I think it's the reason that people would, want me to come in and do the thing that I do, because if I could play with a pick, of course, like anyone, but it wouldn't have all the colors and all the, somber, broken, sad, emotional things that I normally bring out. As Elias, my old friend Elias said, sad music from a sad man. That's what he called me one time. That kind of stuff. Hard to do that with a pick, it wouldn't sound the same. It loses all the juice, So there's that, and those are two questions from the string locker. I can't even read my own writing here. Let's see. Oh, one guy said, you can play any style. I mean, is there anything you can't play? And what's left? Is there anything left that you wish you could play that you can't play? Man, I can't play every style. I mean, I can fake my way through a lot of shit, make you think I can play every style. But I'm not, like I said many times, I'm not a jazzer. I'm not a jazzer at all. But jazz is sort of like the finishing school for guitar players. You grow up playing Black Sabbath and AC/DC and all that sort of primitive, sort of caveman rock, which is great. And I still love it as much as I ever did. But then I think when you get a little older and you sort of graduate, it's like, well, maybe I should learn that half whole tone scale. Maybe I should, learn how to voice lead. Maybe I should learn how to play over changes and all that stuff. So I think that's sort of like your finishing school, I wouldn't want to start there, though. I'm glad I started with my sort of caveman rock. You know how I always joke around about playing blues over major? I heard a great example the other day of somebody playing blues over major. It made me laugh out loud. Great old song. You guys probably forgotten about it, but it's called Smoke from a Distant Fire by Sanford Townsend Band, Cutting Muscle Shoals. That guitar solo in there is great. It starts off kind of like, it's all major chords. And he's kind of in the vibe for a minute, and then he starts getting into some blues over major. It's awesome. It's just awesome. Clashing minor and major thirds. That always gets Uncle Larry in a certain mood. But yeah, man, there's a rock and roll spirit to that, when you play that blues over major. It's very rock, I'll say, although painful rock. Okay. When you're, can we just say it one more time? If the song is going like that song goes, right? A major to B minor, right? You cannot go like this. Here, I'll make a loop just to show you. Sorry, that's an old loop. I'll make a loop just to show you. Here. Ready? Okay, that's our groove, right? You can't go. You can't do that. You can't do that. I mean, you can, but you can't. Now, if if that's all you know to do is to play blues, which is cool because we're in A, right? So we're playing blues in A. Take your blues down 3 frets and play your blues there. Watch. Sounds way better. You can fix the problem just by going down 3 frets, you know. I'm just saying, it's a bit of a problem. We've talked about that a lot in old episodes. That's an old thing that gets Uncle Larry all riled up. Some people don't seem to mind that blues over major thing, but you know who else doesn't like it? It's Gordon Moat. We talk about it all the time. We laugh and laugh and laugh. He can't take it either. He just cannot take it. Okay, let's get into some other shit here. Okay, the guy said, what's left style-wise that you would like to be able to play? You know, it'd be, what I thought of is like, boy, it'd be really cool to every once in a while be able to rip into some Allen Holdsworth shit for me. You know, just as a joke, just to be able to play like that, just like at a party or something, you know, that'd be pretty cool. What a freak. The only guy, as I've said many times, that sounded like he'd never heard anyone else ever play a guitar. Allen Holdsworth, it's like he'd never heard anybody else play. He completely had his own vocabulary. Amazing player. You know, and I bet, we talked about this many times. I'll say it again. I'll bet he was a sweet, sweet guy. I could just tell. I would love to hang out with him. As a matter of fact, I did see him one time in a bar in Cleveland. Well, a couple times. I was so young. I wouldn't have been able to, I've been too nervous to go talk to him anyway, but he was chugging on an old bottle of Heineken, just kind of like Uncle Larry does. That made me connect with him even more, you know. Okay, it's tax season, Uncle Larry, one guy said. Yes, it is, my friend. And I spent all day yesterday down in my tax lady's office going through things, and man, never fun. She's great. I've had the same tax lady for 30 years. She's amazing. But man, you know, it's always so much to get together every year. My taxes are extremely complicated, as you can imagine. I get a million W-2s, 1099s from different people, and it's crazy. I never, always happy to get that shit over with. I'm sure I'm not alone. Uncle Larry, I know you sit and watch NFL films, old NFL films all day. What else do you watch? And this is a 2-part question. I watch old boxing too. I love boxing. I love boxing and NFL. I don't really give a shit about basketball or baseball, honestly, which is kind of sad. I used to love baseball when I was a kid. I loved it. And I know a lot about baseball, old baseball, but I don't know shit about new baseball. But boxing, man, and football, that's what I'm into. And some MMA, actually. I like that. Gets the blood pumping. And who has the best highlight reel of any running back in NFL history? You know, I hate to admit this because he killed his wife and everything, but OJ. But Jimmy Brown is my favorite, of course, of all time. But you gotta watch OJ's highlight reels, man. Holy shit, that boy could run. My God. He was something else. Everybody's forgotten about that because of that other thing, you know. Oh, that's not funny. That's not funny. Okay, hey, Uncle Larry, show us. There's a lot of new viewers coming over and they all want to know how to do that speed picking thing that I do. Okay, and let me just tell you, man, there's a couple I talked about it in an old episode called "Burning for You," where I kind of really went into the details about my whole approach to that speed picking thing, you know. And but I'll just give a very quick redo of that, what I said. Okay, so the key to all that burning picking is you got to keep your wrist super fucking loose. If you start getting tensed up and this is all moving together, all this, the arm and the wrist, you're never ever going to be able to play fast. If your arm is going like this when you're picking and it's all fused and you're just going up and down, your whole arm is moving, you're done. It's never going to happen for you. So the key is to separate your wrist from your arm. make them two separate things, and in a rotating sort of motion. You pick. My phone is going nuts on, but wish I could show you that even better here. Okay, so that's just side to side motion, and it's so loose, and there is zero tension up here. I could literally do that all day long, and it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't wear out. It's not fatiguing at all. So if you play like this, where you're all stiff and you wear out in 2 seconds and you're done. But this loose wrist thing, hard to get used to, but once you do, you can play like that forever. So that's the kind of thing. So it's all about keeping that wrist real loose. And I also play with the shoulder of the pick, as you can see when I'm doing that stuff, because it makes you play faster. But I'm just, don't get frustrated if you can't get this in the first 25 years, because it's hard. It took me about 25 years to get it, but I'm a slow learner. Let's see. How does the bridge pickup on your Duesenberg signature model compare to your burst? Great question. I got my burst out just to show you, but I always put the pickups on these Duesenbergs really low because they're very powerful and they sound amazing. And they always overpower all my other guitars, so I have to put them down low. The pickup on my burst is pretty high, so this is not really a fair comparison, but I'll show you anyway. Here you go. Here's crunchy lead tone type thing. Okay, there's that. Here's the old Flamer. 58 burst. Amazing. I mean, they both sound amazing. This one's a bit louder for sure, but it's good and high. See how high that pickup is? But man, just the woody sort of vocal characteristic this guitar has. Amazing. Okay, I think we're good for today. You guys hope you have a great weekend coming up, and stay out of trouble, as RoboCop said. And be nice to somebody. Right on. See you later. Bye-bye. Class dismissed.